You sure you guys want me, right? You know what you're getting into. No ayahuasca was consumed in the preparation of this speech. No, I saw what happened to that Ohio State guy. It wasn't good, right? There are lots of ways that you can deliver a bad speech. That was one of them. This isn't what we're doing today. Now, look, first of all, you look wonderful, and the weather's great, and congratulations, and I'm elated. I'm elated. It's such a privilege to be able to teach so many of you. It's so wonderful to see you out here and enjoying yourself and finally graduating, an achievement that is very hard to pull off. Many would love to be in your position, and you've done it. Congratulations, congratulations. To the graduates, to your families that supported you in your studies, to get here today, with appreciation for all the faculty and staff that make SIPA such a unique and valuable experience, you made it. Now, how exactly you should feel about that, and what exactly you've made it to, what world you are going out into, may feel unsettling to you today, and I feel you. I absolutely feel you. You have come to SIPA from all over the world. You finished an intense and rigorous program in international affairs. You've explored how institutions can improve human societies and how and why they fail. And you've studied these things so that you can help guide the future in ways that will ultimately serve the public good. And I have absolutely no doubt that doing good and solving problems are your goals. And yet, you are leaving a campus that has been ripped apart by an intractable problem of our societies in conflict. Here at Columbia, in this tiny, insignificant microcosm of that deadly, decades-long crisis in the Middle East, has progress been made? Demands have been issued by the powerless and mostly ignored by the powerful. There have been chants and yelling and not enough listening. And now the players in this drama, and all of you, depart for new jobs and internships and fellowships, boundless opportunities afforded by our elite institutions and the constituencies that they serve, while the war rages on, while the hostages remain, and while death stalks the population of Gaza. You might ask yourselves why this particular conflict in the Middle East has so captured our attention. It is, of course, not the only conflict out there. You knew I was going to do a little of this, right? The war in Ukraine, which I wrote my PhD dissertation on, Russians in Ukraine, still deserves more of our attention. And not because they're white people in Europe. Hundreds of thousands have died, and more will follow. And this war's impact on global food and fuel supplies threatens to push tens of millions of the world's poorest back into poverty and starvation. Of all the conflicts in the world through your time here at SIPA, war in Ukraine has hurt the most people. In Sudan, with far fewer journalists to tell the stories, we will never know how many have already been killed or how many face starvation. A few hundred miles from the tip of Florida, violent gangs are consuming Haiti. The government of the United States has done nothing about it except to send back the desperate refugees who make it to our shores. In Armenia, where some of my family are from, 100,000 people were ethnically cleansed just a few months ago in Nagorno-Karabakh. An old friend of mine who left a comfortable life to serve his people there has been falsely imprisoned on charges of terrorism. Why has Israel-Palestine taken such command of our attention? Is it because we believe this killing results from the sins of Western civilization? I'll get there, I promise. Is it that America bears greater responsibility for this conflict or has greater opportunity to influence this outcome? Let me pose another hypothesis. Perhaps it is also because this conflict is easier to reduce to absolutes. One side is right, the other is always wrong. One is always a victim, the other a hotbed of terrorism or a vindictive colonial oppressor. We identify with one side over the other. We share greatest cultural or religious affinity with one side over the other. SIPA, wherever you come from, I have no doubt that every one of you here, SIPA graduates, I know you, I understand you. You know this conflict is long and deeply tangled with historic roots well beyond the fighting this year. You all know this. And yet, the nature of this conflict makes it useful to powerful interests in this country. Useful to generate clicks, to capture attention, to sell ad space, to secure political advantage in this instant and in this election without any attention to the long, slow slog of work and compromise that is the only path to peace. SIPA, there are so many political and commercial forces today that frustrate progress. They ignore history, they reject evidence, they amplify bias, they push made-for-the-moment ideas that are more slogan than solution. Build the wall, defund the police. These slogans divide us from them. We don't need to find shadowy forces that come from some deep global conspiracy. These threats are the results of the political and economic systems that we have built. In recent decades, we thought liberal democracy would be the bulwark against dictatorship and autocracy. But liberalism has been supplanted by corporatism, which lacks a moral compass and makes a mockery of the public good. Our public institutions are in decline when we need them the most. Graduates, when I say the word institution, what image do you see? Do you see an edifice of stone, solid and unyielding, built for the ages? Do you see Hamilton Hall? As SIPA graduates, you know that institutions are more like gardens. They're dynamic systems of diverse and competing interests. They're constantly growing, and they're reacting to their environment. They are capable of great beauty, but they are at constant risk of infestation and disease. SIPA, your political leaders and your elites have failed to tend, as they should, to the institutions that they inherited. We have taken for granted the benefits of globalization with no plan to pay the check. We have reached for short-term gains in profit and in power, and we have avoided the hard effort of tending the gardens that sustain us. And so, graduates, you should all face the future with concern about our ability to manage the forces that drive us apart. Information warfare is fought on all sides, and we are the civilian casualties. Algorithms controlled by people and business models that don't care about civil society shape our perceptions of what is true. Israel and its supporters don't see and hear the same news that Palestinians and their supporters see. Russians don't get the same information about their war as Ukrainians or Europeans and Americans. And in today's America, the political information consumed by Biden and Trump voters come from different planets. I wish I was overstating that problem, but here at SIPA, you know that I am not. Our technological futures are being shaped by corporate leaders who do not answer to elections, who will oversimplify the challenges we face and promote fixes that only technologists can provide. Techno-utopianism is a dangerous fantasy. Look at what it promises us: painless solutions to complex problems, endless profits for its high priests. Our civil society becomes an externality, the public good, a helpless bystander. Disinformation, conspiracies, and performative outrage are the most dangerous rot in the gardens of our institutions, and they will be impossible to eradicate if we huddle comfortably within our own bubbles, rejecting all the ideas and information that challenge us to question our assumptions, refusing to hear one another. SIPA, how can we prevent these outcomes and the violence that will inevitably ensue? You know that I have built my career on thoughtful analysis, but on these questions, I don't have easy answers for you. We live in a world of complexity where real evidence and critical thinking and the dogged, persistent pursuit of practical solutions are so essential. But I am certain of a few things. First, it does not have to be this way. Humans created these problems, and humans can solve them. Second, your generation, particularly you who have been so fortunate to study at this place and in this moment, you must find different paths from those of us who came before you. I know that you have goals that are as varied as your backgrounds. Some of you are ready to change the world, and you will pursue the heights of public service and government, or you will found innovative startups that make a difference in the world. Some of you have debts to pay, families to support, responsibilities too great to think about taking big risks just now. And some of you, like me over 30 years ago, have absolutely no idea what you really want to do. One of you has no idea, just none. I feel you. Look, I'll be honest, when I came to New York from Stanford a long time ago, I just wanted a good job, but no one would hire me. They thought we didn't need political scientists, and I've spent the past 3 decades showing them they were wrong, and I am looking forward to all of you doing the same. Now, SIPA, regardless of the path that you choose, now or in the future, all of you have something valuable to offer. All of you will make a difference. You know how to analyze problems, and you understand what makes society stable. You understand what brings countries into conflict. You can see where the choices that governments and institutions make can either help or hurt your fellow humans. You can help others to see clearly. You can choose to do the right thing. In my own history, even back when I was crammed into a borrowed cubicle, eating ramen under a leaky roof in a walk-up off West End Avenue, there were easy paths to financial success that I would not follow. And later, when my company Eurasia Group finally became something more than Eurasia Guy, those were bad days, Eurasia Guy. There were clients we would not take. There were interests we would not serve, and that remains true today. You may feel that your role today is small, that nothing you do will matter so much. Resist those feelings. Hard work is never a hopeless cause. Each step in the right direction matters. You will make endless decisions in your careers in public affairs, countless opportunities for small steps forward when you remain focused on doing right, with an eye towards the long term, towards repairing public confidence in our civic institutions. This is what you have been trained for, and this is what our institutions need. So SIPA graduates, as you set off on the next phase of your lives, I hope that you will keep a few short principles in mind, some themes to help us create a truly civil society. Number one, change your mind. The world never stops changing, and if you're afraid to change your mind, even about things you consider fundamentally important, especially those things, the more wrong you will become as the world around you changes. In fact, having a fixed worldview is the one thing that guarantees that you will eventually be wrong as the world changes around you. Number two, listen to the other side. Are you a tolerant person? I'm really asking. If you're a tolerant person, you can listen to people you disagree with, even strongly disagree with, even today on this stage, and learn something you didn't know. Learn something that can help you do what you think you should do. I think you should make a list of people that you respect, but with whom you disagree on questions you feel are truly important. And you should listen to those people. You should read what they write. You should follow them on social media. They may not shift any of your core convictions. It doesn't matter. But listening to them and considering fairly, honestly what they say will broaden and deepen your perspective. Number three, remember that your work is about helping people. If your work is on the problems of international and public affairs, your work is about people and their lives. Don't forget that. It's not mainly about ideas and principles. It's about creating opportunities for people alive today and for others not yet born. Opportunities to live securely and to learn and to realize potential and to share. When life gets in the way, as it surely will, remember what brought you here, to this place, to this field of study. Remember how fortunate you are, and never forget those whose basic needs are constantly under pressure. Resist the gentle tug of fatalism. Resist the long slide into complacency. And please remember, cynicism is toxic. It's pure poison. Do not swallow it. Number four, and all I have is four. Take your work, but not yourself, seriously. You know, I was going to make this speech funny because I'm generally a funny person. But I take this moment for you seriously. If you're a generous person, your work will outlive you. When we go, we can't take anything with us. Give what you have. I believe this is a secret of happiness. The happiness of those who will benefit because you shared what you have to give. And I believe that can make you happy too. Class of 2024, today's wars will grind on a while longer, and America's election season will get uglier. We're not going to kid ourselves here at SIPA. None of us will change the world this week. But each of us has a chance to use whatever talent and wisdom we have to learn what this world has to teach us and to work with other people to build a more cooperative future. I wish you graduates the very best, and I thank you for inviting me here today.